Okay, hey guys. This is Mr. Lynch. You might see Anya crawling in. She's over there. At some point. I'm going to go over the final project in this video in case you can't be there for the Zoom session. Essentially, this project is what we hope, if we get word back to kind of confirm this, will go in as a final exam grade. The final exam counting for 10% of the grade overall. And so we can kind of slot this in instead of the final exam. I don't have a due date on here. It'll be due once we know, again, kind of waiting on word from higher ups. Once we know when final grades are actually due for students, that would kind of be the last day that it could be due. And I might give myself a little bit of wiggle room just to be able to grade these as well. So I might, once we know when final grades have to go in, I might be able to give you guys a more definitive answer on when this will be due, okay? So just wait on that. Just know that you have, if we're looking at our calendar, right, you can start it tomorrow, Thursday. You're looking at 1, 2, makeup day on Fridays, right? We have the AP exam review session on Friday for agriculture. 3, I would say probably skip work on the final project on this day and spend that time in the morning making sure your AP browser is working and all that good stuff. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 probably days to kind of work on this. If we're thinking about 30 minutes a day for 8 hours, for 8 days, that's probably the bulk of what we're going to look at for this project. So I'm not expecting anything outrageously detailed or outrageously, I don't know, informative or anything like that, right? So what we're looking for, I went through our curriculum standards for urban geography. Let me actually make this big, right? And there are some topics in here that just don't really do much in terms of, a research project or anything like that, infrastructure. So I looked at some of these ideas. Urban sustainability isn't really in there because you have to have some background knowledge. I tried to pick kind of the standards that we need maybe the least amount of background knowledge on and that we can do some very brief investigations in. And so I picked essentially 6.10 challenges of urban changes, right? As urban areas face change, these are some of the challenges that they encounter. And then challenges of sustainability as well, right? When we think about sustainability, again, that kind of goes back to a concept that we went over previously, with agricultural sustainability and development as well. So that's kind of why I chose those two. You getting fussy? You getting fussy? Just trying to talk. Say, let me be heard, Dad. So those are the two kind of big, broad topics that I chose. I gave you kind of an idea here in terms of what you need to be doing. So if you choose environmental justice, that hurts. So we can see that environmental justice is right here on this subtopic, this essential knowledge area of topic 6.10 or 6.10, challenges of urban change. Environmental injustice is one of those subtopics in essential knowledge 6A1. Ouch. You could talk about or analyze environmental racism within a city in the United States by comparing the distribution of landfills or waste facilities in proximity to racial minorities, residential sectors, right? So that's what we're kind of looking at. It's just analysis, at various scales, because some of these will lend themselves to the scale of a city. Some of them can lend themselves to the scale of the entirety of the United States. Most of these, though, we're going to look at cities because we're talking urban geography. So if you wanted to do a larger scale analysis, you would need to investigate more than one city and kind of do a comparative between the two and see if this is something that's going across the board in a country in that sense, okay? What you're going to submit, you're going to have to create a website on Education Weebly or any other free website service. Just be sure that it's something you can publish that will have a URL that you can then send me at donald.lynch@campbellhigh.net. I would say when we're creating or crafting the website itself, at the very top, you're going to have tabs usually that can be drop-down menus. So, maybe a tab for the definition of specific terminology that people need to know, a tab for the maps that you are looking at, and then a tab for analysis that is happening, right? So the kind of, this is what I can see in terms of what's happening on these maps, and here is what's happening in city, in some blank city that I've chosen, that I'm doing my environmental justice comparison on, okay? So when we think about how we're actually supposed to select in here, what we're going to try to do, I made this bold, and I want to explain this a little bit further just so you know it 100%, right? Anytime you see me switching between italicized and then bold, and then italicized and then bold, that means it is a separate topic. So this entire first section right here, issues related to housing and housing discrimination such as redlining, blockbusting, and affordability, is one topic that you could investigate. The next topic in 6A1 is access to services, right? So people having the ability to actually access services, whether or not that's food services, grocery stores, or business type services, any sort of consumer service at all. Rising crime is another topic. Environmental injustice is a topic. And then the growth of disamenity zones or zones of abandonment. An amenity would be an additional draw to an area. So things like parks, green spaces, walking zones, biking lanes, those type of things. So a disamenity zone lacks those. And in some senses, depending on where you're looking in the world, a disamenity zone can be so bad that you lack basic services like plumbing, electrical, etc. Okay? So essential knowledge 6A2, this is all one topic. So you would be looking up squatter settlements and conflicts over land within cities, anywhere in the world that you wanted to look at where that is occurring. Urban renewal and gentrification have positive and negative consequences. So you would be looking at urban renewal projects as well as gentrification. So when we're thinking, right, you might be asking, well, what type of terms am I talking about? Well, within urban renewal, there are probably different types of plans for urban renewal. And that's the type of definition that you would need to provide so that the reader of your website would know, I'm stuck now, would know these terms, okay? Then we have challenges to urban sustainability. So not bold, this is just kind of introduction. Challenges to urban sustainability include suburban sprawl as one topic, sanitation as one topic, climate change as one topic, air and water quality as one topic, the large ecological footprint of cities as one topic, and energy use as one topic. So you would be looking at one of those and discussing how or why these practices related to suburban sprawl or energy use are not sustainable when we look at the city level usage of these ideas. And then responses to urban sustainability can be regional planning efforts, remediation and redevelopment of brownfields. So when we think about industrial sectors that have been left abandoned, that's what we consider a brownfield. We've had a few of those in Atlanta that you could actually look at as case studies. Ponce City Markets, Atlantic Station was a brownfield. So think about, specific areas that you would like to look at. Reclamation efforts, what does that mean? Establishment of urban growth boundaries, and then farmland protection policies. So you would just choose one of those bullets from those 5 different essential knowledge areas and do an investigation into it. On the next page, we have kind of our rubric here. A very simple rubric, 5 to 6 being what you want to shoot for. In terms of your kind of go-to, I would say if you're doing a comparative between cities, if you're kind of getting to that upper level, even though it's not really a requirement, if you're going for it, you might want to look at this as 2 maps per location that you are actually trying to investigate, because the more detail we have, the better we can actually say our answer is correct and our response is true, okay? So that is, I don't know what she's looking at. All right, here you go. What do you want? You want this? What is it? What do you want? You want your star. There you go. You want our star. There we go. So that is the final project. If you have any other questions, again, kind of 10:30 tomorrow in the Zoom meeting. You know, if you need, I'll stick around, and you know, I know some people have French that day, or I can start early. I can be there as early as 10 o'clock. That's usually when I start trying to feed her and get her changed. That's why I pushed it to 10:30, just because she has started to delay when she wants to be fed. But I can start probably around 10 o'clock and still hang out at 10:30 for those of you who were there originally for the original time. So just plan on that. And again, hopefully that will clear up some issues that you guys may have had and, you know, narrow down whatever questions you had. Bye, guys.